back to the JMC Reviews. Today we're going to be doing another short film review. Last month we took a look at the first short directed by John Carpenter while he was a student at USC Film School. So for this month we're going to look at another film from his USC days. This one, not one he directed, but played a big part in creatively. For 1970, this is The Resurrection of Broncho Billy.
Jesus Christ, where do you get these names?
A short comedic tribute to Western cinema about a delusional young man who dreams of being a cowboy. The short was produced as a senior project by John Longenecker, son of Oscar-nominated actress Ruth Hussey. While attending USC, Longenecker brought together a group of filmmakers, two of them being future success stories John Carpenter and fellow director / original Michael Myers actor Nick Castle. Castle was tasked with the job of being the film's cinematographer, while Carpenter was given the dual role as editor and, no shock, the short's music composer.
This thing is f***ed. I'm sorry. It's completely f***ed.
Directing duties were given to James R. Rokos and along with Trace Johnston, who had actually been the editor on Carpenter's short Captain Voyeur. All 5 filmmakers are credited with contributing to the film's story. Made on a budget of only $700, Longenecker was able to snag Johnny Crawford for the lead role of Broncho Billy. No relation to yours truly, as far as I know. Crawford was a former child star, best known for the variety show The Mickey Mouse Club and his Emmy-nominated role of Mark McCain on the classic TV show The Rifleman. He also had a pretty successful run as a musician. As to how Longenecker got Crawford to star in his little short film, Crawford had a crush on Longenecker's neighbor, Kelly Harmon, which led to the two of them becoming well acquainted and eventually friends. Longenecker asked him to be the lead in his short, and old Johnny was like, why not? John Longenecker himself had a crush on Kelly Harmon's older sister, Kristen Harmon, herself an already established actress. He offered her the part of the main female character, which she accepted in what would be one of her last roles before retiring to become a painter. Narration was provided by Longenecker's mother, Ruth Hussey, and Kristen's, at the time, husband, Ricky Nelson. The short, shot in a sepia-tone black and white style, opens with a cool little cowboy poem, followed by a montage of classic Western movie posters. We're introduced to our main character, Broncho Billy, played by Johnny Crawford, a young man who is really into cowboy shit. He gets ready to leave for work, dressing up in classic cowboy gear. Something tells me the filmmakers might have just gotten back from seeing Midnight Cowboy. As he leaves for work, Billy's landlady chews him out over the way he dresses and the fact that he's constantly late for his job.
2 weeks overdue, you know. I don't know how you get away with going to work dressed like that. You ought to dress decent like everybody else and spending all that money on the movies. That's ridiculous. You ought to put some of that into paying your rent. Who does he think he is, Buck Jones?
She may come off like a mean bitch, but as we're gonna see as the short goes on, she's kind of in the right. Instead of going straight to work, Billy goes to meet with an old cowboy who regales him with Old West stories that even he admits he wasn't alive for.
He died south of Wichita, Kansas in 1893. The reason I know that, because my name is Tucker and Boney Tucker disarmed Luke Short.
Excuse me. I don't understand a word you're saying.
Billy finally shows up very late to work and, shock of all shocks, his boss fires his ass, despite his best efforts to toothpick his way out of the situation.
Welcome to real life.
His now former co-worker shows him a little sympathy and was honestly the most touching moment in the whole short. Billy struts through the city streets to the bemusement of passers-by. You know, the funny thing is, if someone dressed up and walked around like this in 2023, I'm pretty sure most people wouldn't even bat an eye. He starts following some random guy in a suit and at the crosswalk acts as if they're about to enter a duel. I think Travis Bickle functions better in society than this asshole. His next stop is a bar where he tries to emulate the mood from an old saloon, but the real world just won't let that happen.
You got any ID?
Here you go, cowboy.
You're still gonna need some ID, son.
I think the most unbelievable thing in this short is that a bartender in 1970 would be this hard-pressed about somebody not having an ID.
Liquor's a great thing.
Here you go.
Because I'm 25, right?
Because you got money.
Yeah.
After failing to score some booze, Billy, the non-functioning retard he is, walks into an alley where he senses danger. He gears himself up for a big standoff, only to be met with two punks, giving the reaction you expect somebody in 1970 to give to somebody dressed the way he is.
What are you, some kind of faggot? Don't call me a faggot!
The two punks give him a pretty humiliating beatdown and steal an antique watch gifted to him from the old cowboy from earlier. Beaten and penniless, Billy wanders into a park to sit and mope. A girl, played by Kristen Harmon, approaches Billy, asking if she can draw him, finding his whole cowboy shtick fascinating. At first, it seems like he might have a chance, but of course he blows it. When shown the picture, all he can do is criticize her for not making the drawing historically accurate, even bashing the tiniest of details.
His gun isn't really low enough, that's just one thing, and then the saddle over here. If I just had my own hat, I could show you, the type of hat that they wore. John Wayne, he always wore a different hat. You should pay attention to his hats, because John Wayne always has the same hat every movie, but it's a good hat.
God damn, I've never wanted to see somebody get their front teeth knocked in so badly.
If it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me. But it could be a lot more authentic. John Wayne always wears a taller hat, that looks like a dude's hat. He had more of a curve to it, and...
Shut the fuck up!
Much longer than you expect, the girl reaches her wit's end and leaves.
Kiss my entire ass.
Billy looks down in defeat, and then gets a determined look on his face. He gets up, and all of a sudden, the film switches to color. The girl is now dressed like a woman in the Old West. Billy rides up to her on a horse and appears to win her over. It would seem Broncho Billy has finally given up trying to live in reality and has just given in to his Old West delusions.
You crazy, nigga!
The girl hops onto the horse and the two of them ride off into the sunset. No idea if this symbolizes anything going on in the real world or if it's all just a daydream, but I think it's safe to say Billy is a doomed case, and whenever he wakes up, it ain't gonna be pretty. The Resurrection of Broncho Billy is a strange little film. The line of what's real becomes very blurred and the main character isn't particularly likable, but that doesn't mean it isn't interesting. I personally look at it as a cautionary tale of not becoming too obsessed over nostalgia / escapism and detaching yourself from the real world. Going with that theme, I'd say Johnny Crawford nailed the character. There isn't a lot of clear plot development, which is why I was surprised to see that there were 5 credited writers on this short. I mean, what the fuck was their process? Did each one put in 1 single page a day?
Prepare to be written! I'm doing it! Yeah! Done. Now let's see how it looks so far.
But as for the filmmakers everyone cares about and knows the best, how is Nick Castle's cinematography? Pretty good. Gotta give it this. It definitely looks like a western from the 40s. And regarding John Carpenter's contributions, the editing is a little jarring at times, but that could go in hand with the blurred storytelling, and as for Carpenter's score, not bad. It's not gonna make my top 5 list of my favorite John Carpenter scores, but it fits the film pretty well. It's upbeat, but somewhat sad. Fits the tale of a guy who likes to keep himself in a fantasy state of mind. If anyone's wondering if the Resurrection of Broncho Billy had success beyond being a USC film project, yes it did. It ended up getting a theatrical release, leading to it getting nominated and eventually winning the Academy Award for Best Original Short Film.
Holy shit!
Personally, I'm not sure if it's Oscar-worthy, but it definitely made history. John Longenecker, being the producer, won the Oscar, making him at age 23 the youngest film producer to ever win an Academy Award. This also makes it the only John Carpenter production to win an Oscar. The other three filmmakers would get a few more projects under their belts, but Castle and Carpenter still remain the breakout filmmakers of the short. Carpenter said he always wanted to work in the Western genre, but never got to direct a full-on Western. However, you can definitely see the influence the genre has had on many of his films, from Assault on Precinct 13 to Vampires. Is the resurrection of Broncho Billy worth checking out? Yes, I'd say it is. While it is a mixed bag in the quality department, it isn't hard to admire the collaborative nature of the project. Hope you enjoy these little run-throughs of John Carpenter's early days, and I will see you again, hopefully soon.
I used to fuck guys like you in prison.